Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Racing Podblast with me, Tony Mack, and Ben Aitken from Narrow in the Field. And we're off to Ascot this week for the pod action as we try and follow up last week's 18 to 1 winner, Flying Finn, from the pair of us. We'll be digging deep into the three races from Ascot Saturday card before taking our regular spin up to Scotland for our football trixie battle, top, middle and bottom. Flying Finn, well done last week, mate. We did all right there, didn't we?
And you, mate, both on it.
Yeah.
37 was the SP, I think, on Betfair.
Yes.
That's a huge one, so yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah, it was good. Flying Finn. And the competition for all listeners this week is how many times Flying Finn will get a mention during this week's show. Racing first, though, and we start with the Cumberland Lodge Stakes from Ascot, the first of our three races under analysis this week. Ben, can you start us off with that one?
Indeed, yep. The last two winners of this Group 3 Cumberland Lodge Stakes line up again this year. Al Kareem and Hamish both set to take a crack at the big pot, or valuable pot. Both near the head of the market, along with Al Assay. Al Assay has had a fine season so far, 2 wins and a close second. I'm happy enough to go against him in this, though. His form can dip a little after August. His form in September and October reads 0 wins from 2 places. So happy enough to leak away from Al Assay. Hamish, he started his season with a win at Newbury, then a second in the Group 1 Coronation Cup at Epsom. Not totally convinced those are rock solid pieces of form, though. I think they are okay pieces of form, nothing more. And he's disappointed in his last 2 starts since then, when fancied for both. He could bounce back here, of course, Hamish, but I feel he's got a couple of small questions to answer. He is an 8-year-old now as well, so not quite as easy for him to bounce back as it maybe once was. Al Kareem, he's the one I'd be most interested in from those at the head of the market. He was a comfortable winner at Chester last time out. There's a chance he gets a solo lead in this, and he goes well under the conditions. Group 3 level and below, a break of 28 days or less, where he has 5 wins and 4 places from 11 starts. I don't think he's bomb-proof, but I do think he's got the best chance of the 3 at the head of the market, Al Kareem. Of the others, though, Gather Ye Rosebuds is an interesting contender. She's been tried over 1 mile 6 in the last 2 starts, but she just didn't quite stay those longer trips. So this drop back to 1 mile 4, I think that looks a good move. If you look at her over 1 mile 4 and shorter, on Good to Softer, you see she has 3 wins and 4 starts. 3 wins from 4 starts. The only time she didn't win, she finished 4th of 15 in a listed race in Ireland. So conditions should be in Gather Ye Rosebud's favour here. She does catch the eye at double-figure prices. And Lafayette is another at bigger prices worth a mention. She finished 10th of 10 last time out at Leopardstown, but that was her first run for 302 days. She was only beaten 7 lengths in it after never really being put into the race with any gusto. I think that will have sharpened her up plenty. So, also interesting that they stick headgear back on her. The 3 previous times she's had a headgear switch, including headgear for the first time or headgear removal, she's posted form of 1st, 3rd and 1st. So the headgear switch up is definitely interesting. Far from impossible that Lafayette bounces back to a bit of form and outruns her lofty odds. I see the appeal for Al Kareem, but the prices, I'm going to throw a couple of each-way darts at Gather Ye Rosebuds and Lafayette. They look like they've been overlooked in this, and hopefully at least one of them can get involved at tasty prices, and hopefully all 8 line up, so we've got the 3 places to shoot for. But Gather Ye Rosebuds and Lafayette for me. Tony, what you got for this Group 3?
Yeah, I've got the 2 at the top of the market, to be honest with you, Ben. I'll probably be Dutching those, currently both 5-2. Winner Al Kareem, winner last year off a £3 higher mark, beaten 7 rivals by a length, remained solid and consistent in a number of starts since, though well held in the Group 2 Yorkshire Cup and Group 1 Goodwood Cup recently. I think Group 3's Ari's bag. I think Al Kareem can go well tomorrow for Carl Burke and Clifford Lee, and Al Assay Al AZ, whatever. I can never get it right, but it's a lightly raced this term. Just 3 races this season. Finished 5th of 8, beaten 13 lengths behind Al Kareem in this race 12 months ago. But as I say, another one that's solid and consistent this term, winning the Group 2 Glorious Stakes at Goodwood and the Geoffrey Freer Stakes at Newbury in August. So he's bounced back to form in a big way, has Al-Asi. And Lafayette as well. I've got that on my short list as well. We did the same last week with Flying Finn, and we're going in on Lafayette as well. Irish Raider, trained by Noel Meade, solid 6-year-old season, but it's clearly, I don't know this 100%, but it's clearly had his training problems. 2 starts this year, and could have some fun at a big price. Therefore, Lafayette. In that first race we're covering, the French Navy gelding, now a 7-year-old, and hopefully it can go well at a big price there. Second race, the 3:35 BetMGM Challenge Cup. Oh, no, sorry, the 3 o'clock. Sorry, 3 o'clock is the Bengough Stakes, Group 3, over 6 furlongs, Ben.
Yeah, the Bengough Stakes. I have a short list of just the 2 for this Group 3. Vadream and Puru Songway. Vadream won this race in 2021. Has our prime conditions to shoot for again. At Group 3 level or below, a straight track, soft or heavy or the all-weather, and a break of more than 14 days. Under those conditions, she is 4 wins and 2/3 from 6 starts. She was well beaten in a Group 1 at Curra last time out. Ran a blinder in the Group 1 Sprint Cup at Haydock the time before, under conditions that were far from prime for her as well. So that was a big race from the dream there, and she's run a number of solid races this season actually, despite not winning any of them. She's in decent enough form, and she looks a player here. The dream. She was also entered in the Group 1 Abbey at Longchamp until final decks, but this looks the wiser and more winnable option for her. Puru Sangway, another that looks to have conditions to suit. He was sent off favourite for the Stewards Cup 2 starts back. Bombed out there quite badly, but I think a mix of quick ground and a poor draw did for him that day. He bounced back with a close second in a listed sprint at York last time out on good to soft. Backs up my thinking that quick ground and the draw did for him at Goodwood. His record at Group 3 level and below in fields of 10 or less reads 2 wins and 6 places from 8 starts. He'll also cope with the testing ground well enough. He won the listed Rockingham Stakes at York on soft ground around this time last year. And he also finished a neck second to Big Evs in the Morecambe Stakes on soft ground last season. Worth noting that he was also entered in the Group 1 Abbey at Longchamp until final decks. A connections must still think he's got the potential to be a Group 1 player. So Puru Sangway is also high in my thoughts for this. And I'm not going to try and split the pair. I'll happily play both the Dream and Puru Sangway here. Both have conditions they should go well under, and I'll play them both. And Molly's a relatively open renewal of the Bengough Stakes. What you got, Tony, for this Group 3?
Yeah, I agree with you with Puru Sangway as well. I've got that on my short list, and also English Oak. But that's they're both near the top of the market. English Oak for trainer Ed Walker, Jamie Spencer on board there, replacing James Doyle. I'm not quite sure where James Doyle is tomorrow. Puru Sangway for Andrew Balding, David Probert back on the colt by Acclaim, the 3-year-old colt. I'm looking a bit further down. I wouldn't put anybody off Puru Sangway, by the way, as well. Well thought out as well there, Ben. Wiltshire, though, for me, I've got Wiltshire down here. 3 wins on the all-weather in the last 12 months at Chelmsford and 2 wins at Chelmsford and Newcastle. Also a win on turf at Newbury in April off a £14 low mark. Big improver is Wiltshire this season by Acclaim. Second of 10, beaten ahead 7 days ago for trainer William Haggis with today's pilot in the plate, Kieran Fallon. That was in a 5 furlong sprint handicap at Haydock just 7 days ago, finishing second of 10, beaten ahead that day as well. So I think Wiltshire can might be spot on for after that run at Haydock. And Corker for Carl Burke and Clifford Lee has been defying his position in the market all season as Corker. At York in the City Wall Stakes, at Sky Bet Dash and the Garraby Stakes all at York before a cracking effort at Ayr last month in the Ayr Gold Cup, finishing third of 25 behind a couple of stablemates. And I think Corker can certainly hit the frame again tomorrow at a big price, around 12 to 1 at the moment. Wiltshire around 11 to 1. My others are near the top of the market, so I'll possibly leave those Purasang and English Oak for a couple of each ways on Wiltshire, and Corker for trainer Clifford, for trainer Carl Burke and Clifford Lee, who are having an absolutely fantastic season. On to the 335 now, the Challenge Cup Class 2 handicap over 7 furlongs. Ben, what have you got for the Challenge Cup?
On your James Doyle question, he's at Longchamp.
Right, yeah.
I had a quick look while you were talking. Trushan amongst his rides there, so he's got all right. Well, okay, decent enough because right. So yeah, James Doyle off to France. But back here, 335 Ascot, 18 runners set to go to post. I have a relatively long short list of Volterra, Carry the One, Acadian Thunder, Divine Libra, Popmaster, and Star of Orion. Volterra caught my eye when running in the Britannia Stakes in the summer. He was the only runner drawn in a single-figure stall to finish in the first 17 places of the 29 runners. He was again undone by the draw on his next start at Newmarket. He ran a huge race last time, I thought, at the Eber Meet in New York. He finished second of 16 in a race that has been working out well since. Soft ground is an unknown for him, but he did run well on good to soft as a 2-year-old at Ayr around this time last year. Offspring of his sire Far do go well on ground with plenty cut, so he should be okay with the underfoot conditions. £4 rise for his York run shouldn't be enough to stop him either, so Volterra, high in my thoughts for the 335. Popmaster finished second in this last year off a £2 higher mark, beating only a nose at the line. His last 5 starts have all come in group company, but he's not quite up to those higher levels, so you'll be happier back in handicap company here. And he's also a much better horse in the second half of the year, with all 6 of his wins coming in the July and later period. So plenty of potential for him to run a big race here at a track he does go well at. He's 2 from 10 3 places over the Ascot 6 and 7 furlong trip. He does look a shade overpriced at 16 to 1 or bigger, Pop Master. Acadian Thunder comes here off the back of a horse in distant second. That effort is probably plenty better than it looks. At the straight track that day was playing in favour of the high-drawn horses, and Acadian Thunder, he broke from stall 1 that day. He also had to do a bit of manoeuvring out the back to get into a challenging position, while the winner just gunned it straight from its high draw. Also worth noting that the form of his win at Doncaster 3 starts back, that's been working out strongly. Runner-up is a win and 2 places from his 3 subsequent starts. The third horse has won both of his starts since, and the fourth horse has won his only run since. A couple others from further down the field have also won since. So some strong, recent enough form on his CV, and he's another that looks a little overpriced at around 12, 14 to 1, Acadian Thunder. Of that 3 I just mentioned, the 2 I'd want on my side are Volterra and Acadian Thunder. They both should still have some progression to come. Both also come in off the back of career best efforts. So 2 horses in form and on the up, Volterra and Acadian Thunder. Tony, Challenge Cup, what you got?
I agree with you. Volterra's on my shortlist, mate. Very much so. He was the apple of Kevin Ryan's eye around this time last year when he was winning a novice stakes at Redcar over 7 furlongs on good ground. He beat 11 rivals there and neck and thought a lot of him. And then the Colt by Far won at Newmarket on seasonal debut back in May, beating 7 rivals by 2 3/4 lengths. A very, very impressive performance by Volterra back in May. And then his form kind of fell off a cliff a little bit. Ascot in the Britannia Stakes, he was the 13 to 2 joint favourite, finished 11th of 29, beaten 8 lengths on that day. And then just the next month at Newmarket in the Bet365 mile handicap, over 8 furlongs on good ground, finishing 10th of 13. Very, very disappointing, but they put him away for a couple of weeks and brought him back out for the Sky Bet mile handicap at York on good to firm ground, finishing 2nd of 16, beaten a length by Treasure Time with his bouncing back to form, thankfully. Relief all round the Kevin Ryan stable. Shane Gray rides him tomorrow, and I think he can go well at around 9-1 as well in some places. So Volterra there for me. My other one is, I've got two more. Kirat, I'm not possibly going to play him. Rafe Beckett, welcome to Rafe Tober, by the way, everyone. Hector Crouch takes the ride yesterday. Tomorrow rather. Last seen in August, the 25th, the back end of August, in a 7 furlong handicap at Goodwood, winning that race off a £5 lower mark, beating Witness Stand and 13 rivals a length. Solid and consistent all season has Kirat, and I think he can run a big race, and he looks an each-way price at the moment, but the one at the each-way price we'll be going for is from the David O'Mara stable. Mark Wynn in the saddle tomorrow. Mersky wears a first-time hood for the O'Mara yard. Solid and another one that's solid and consistent in a number of starts since August, beaten 2 lengths into 5th of 8, he finished 2nd of 18 at York in the Clipper handicap, class 2 contest there over a mile, finishing 2nd of 18, beaten just half a length, and we finished 8th of 14 last time out, was only beaten 3 3/4 lengths by Aragon Castle as the 7-2 beaten favourite at Ayr at the Ayr Gold Cup meeting a couple of weeks ago. Mersky from stall 18, Mark Wynn in the saddle, David O'Mara, that's around 20-1 tomorrow to go with Volterra. And if he gets any bigger, I might be playing Kirat as well for trainer Rafe Beckett and Hector Crouch. All right, that's the racing done. Top, middle and bottom time.
The great thing about loving football is you cannot explain why you love it. It just happens. Chasing a ball round a park, wanting one team to win against the other.
Mahoney right foot, whips it. Oh, jeez, he peeps, man.
Yeah, it's time for round 10 of top, middle and bottom. How do we get on last week, Ben? Can we find, do any of our teams have a flying Finn in the lineup?
Clyde don't, anyway. Yeah, no wins for me, just the one win for you. So we both took a -4 hit. Current totals, me minus 16.38, Tony minus 18.77.
Oh, here we go.
This week, my top, middle and bottom is top Scottish Championship. Airdrie and Dunfermline to draw at 23-10. The current bottom 2 in division, both struggling to get any sort of momentum going, a bit like ourselves. And this will probably be a cagey affair. Both are struggling for goals in the league, and hopefully that continues here and they grind out a draw, Airdrie and Dunfermline. Middle Scottish First Division, Montrose to beat Annan at 17-10. Montrose are starting to string together some solid results. Now the season is in full swing. Annan very much on a slide. They've lost 5 of their last 6 league matches. Hopefully Montrose add another loss to the Annan figures with a win here. So Montrose for me in the middle, and bottom Scottish Second Division, Stirling and Forfar to draw at 23-10. Both these teams come into this off a win, but Stirling have been poor at home. Forfar have been poor on the road, so I'll take them to cancel each other out here and share the spoils with a draw, giving me a top, middle and bottom of top Airdrie and Dunfermline to draw, middle Montrose to beat Annan, bottom Stirling and Forfar to draw. Tony, what you got?
Fantastic, mate. Some chunky prices there, mine, Ben, eh? Some good prices. Fantastic.
Need them.
Me too. We got Falkirk at home to Ayr for me at even money. Dumbarton at home to Stenhousemuir, even money. That's the middle. And bottom, Clyde at home to Spartans. Keep the faith. Mind the gap. 29-20, Clyde at home to Spartans. Dumbarton at home to Stenhousemuir at evens, and Falkirk at home to Keep the faith, everyone. Clyde, come on, you Clyde boys. Right turn, Clyde.
There's nothing more to say.
There isn't, is there?
There's not.
Many thanks for listening. Latest edition of the Racing Podblast, brought to you by the Flying Finn. And very best luck with your bets at Ascot. If you're up nice and early in the mornings, you can catch me on my breakfast show, 3B's Radio. You get a daily tip on there as well. And you can catch more from Ben over on narrowinthefield.co.uk. That's narrowinthefield.co.uk. Big thanks for listening this week. Have a great weekend, everyone. We'll see you all next week. Big thanks to Flying Finn last week, and big thanks to you, Ben.
Cheers, Tony.
Cheers, Ben, and see you all next week. Have a great weekend.